YouTube? Second official video for the channel. Last week I was in Florida with the family, so I really didn't get a chance to really dive into the markets as much as I wanted to, but we'll just review the trades I did take. I think I took like 2, 3 trades, so we'll review those, review some upcoming trades, go over some prediction markets that I see, and more so crypto and DeFi. I touched on it a little bit last week, but just to review, we'll go over a few more of those, and then to end it, I'll go over some tips, some psychology, some more real life introspect of what it is to be a trader. Because I know a lot of people on YouTube make it seem like it's this thing where you just it's not like that. It's rules and regulations to every game, anything that you're trying to play, anything that you're trying to get good at. So once you understand the edge and the parameters, I feel like you either figure it out it is for you or if it's not for you. If it is, welcome to the channel. I hope you're willing to stay. But yeah, so let's get into it. First, let's pull up the trades I took this past week. So first I took, let's remove this. I took the short. Well, let's start from the top. I took this short towards the end of last week on the Russell because of the fact that I knew that we weren't going to cut interest rates this month. Based off of the last video, if you guys remember, the prediction for the Fed to cut was like, to not cut was 90%. 90%, that's a very huge percentage of people betting that they won't cut. So the market typically prices in whatever it thinks is going to happen on a collective mind share kind of agreement. And you just have to know when it is and when it's not. Just understanding the sentiment. So based off the sentiment, I went short the Russell. I could have took it down to the Asian low, but it just was chopping around too much, so I cut it. I cut the trade and I left it at that. I wish I wish that I could live record, but based off of my scheduling and based off of what life, still got a job. So, but the end goal is to get enough prop firm accounts, start copy trading for you guys. That way, I can be more hands on as far as community, doing more stuff within the YouTube channel. So. That is the goal. So this sale that I got into, I was expecting it to make this move on Thursday, but it didn't make the move until Friday after the market got spooked by some very pivotal information. I also took a trade on pound futures. Again, with the knowing that we weren't going to cut rates, I took this trade Tuesday. I got in Tuesday, got into some shorts. It came to the bottom side near the Asian low. I got out. And I also got into gold. I got into a gold short up here. Kind of the same premise. We had failed buyers. So what a failed buyers auction is when you see price go up, but it doesn't continue to go up any higher than the last previous high. So this high in the New York price came up. I seen that it wasn't gonna break it, so I waited for an entry candle. An entry candle for me was here at this shift candle. I got in, came down, it retraced. I got in again off this pin of this 13, which is this red line. I got in for a double entry, and I took it near the Asian lows. That was Thursday. So if we look back towards my track record for the week, those two trades were Thursday, which was my biggest day. And then this was this Thursday? Or was this Wednesday? This was Tuesday, sorry. Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday. So this is my week so far, this past week. Pretty decent week. Profitable. I went on tilt for a little bit here. And going on tilt, you have to understand that risk management is key, because sometimes you may not interpret certain opportunities within the market based off of where you're at mentally. So it happens, but understanding that you can come back, readjust yourself, and align yourself with the sentiment, the fundamentals, and the technicals, and get back to the basics. You can always recover quickly if you understand what's going on within the market. So this was this week. I want to go over some trade setups for this upcoming week. I have one drew out here for gold. So now that after we got the interpretation that we weren't going to cut and we didn't, what did the market do Friday? We got some very, very soft data from the jobs reports. Misleading jobs numbers. Very, very off. Cooling jobs numbers. So we got this Friday after we already chose not to cut a couple days before, which was, what day was that? Literally Wednesday. Wednesday showing markets okay, which was all the selling pressure on other currency pairs. All of this was because of that. Even the tick higher in the NASDAQ. All of this was predicated on, okay, we're going to keep going higher. We didn't cut. But Friday's news spooked the market, as you can see. So when interest rates get cut, that isn't good for equity markets. But gold loves that, because now it shifts the sentiment back onto safe haven assets, which are things like gold and, Bitcoin and all those other things. So let's look up a setup for gold. A potential setup could be buys near this New York low if it pulls back, or to the 13 at these London highs. We're looking at a 1 to 4. I'll take that. A 1 to 4 setup, based off the risk appetite, a pullback, a break and retest of structure. Simple. This is bread and butter. If you don't understand trading, I want to know, what are some of the things that you don't understand? What are some of the things that you would want to understand about trading, as far as how to get in positions, what to trade? I don't know where people are at. I'm very new to this, so I want to know as I continue to make more videos for people. I genuinely want to know what it is that you want to see. For right now, I'll just keep it extremely basic and straightforward based off my plan of actions as far as what I'm doing within the market. But as we continue to go and upload more videos, I definitely do want to know what you guys are thinking and what you want. So, but yeah, that's gold. Again, the Russell. So I missed this. I wanted this trade Thursday. It's okay. But now that we got some softening jobs data, which is pointing towards the Fed to potentially, let's reload the page, potentially cut in September. Smaller businesses love lower interest rates, because that means they can borrow at a lower rate, obviously. And it's just better for overall smaller businesses that don't have as much capital. So if that's the case, if we get a close above this 15 EMA to open up the week, I'm going long Russell back up to the Friday's highs. So let's map out this risk to reward. Let's say we get in somewhere up here. Let's scoot that up there. Back up to the Asian highs. Again, this is another 1 to 4. If your setups are 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, I don't really like that. I like 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s, and lining that up with the fundamentals. 9 times out of 10, you'll either get a move in that direction, or you can use the EMAs as kind of like your take profit points. I said last week I kind of went on a heater. 800 one day. What was that? Wednesday. 256 Thursday. That's 1,000 within 2 days. After coming off being on tilt. So it's like the setups are there. Don't worry about winning and losing as much. The setups are there. You just have to understand that you're not gonna make every single trade go to take profit. You're gonna lose some. It's a part of the game. So knowing that and having your risk to reward leverage, so that the times you do lose and when you do win, one of your wins can outpace 10 losses or 5 losses or 8 losses. That's the name of the game. So This is the Russell. I also like some futures, currency futures, with the weakening in the economic data for the U.S. and the potential cut for interest rates in September. I like these currency buys. I like pound buys for the week. We got the EMAs pointing up. If we get a retest here, the nadir, the apex. Some people say nadir, some people say apex. It's all the same. But if we come here and we get a retest, this is again another a 1 to 4. A simple, easy 1 to 4. We've already technically almost broke above these New York highs. We already have. So the next high is this Wednesday's London high. So I like the pound, potentially the Japanese yen. I know some trade agreement stuff that's going on between China, uh, Japan, and the U.S. for tariffs and things of that nature. But if we get lower interest rates, that's going to be better for other companies that use the U.S. dollar as the currency of trade. So it's going to do nothing but expose more opportunities for global and economic growth for all parties. So I like this potential buy on the yen. If we get near these New York lows again and we can come up higher, this is 161 ticks, risking only like 30 ticks. So again, the risk to reward is there. You align that with fundamentals and you got it. You got it. So we like currency futures buys, we like gold, and we like the Russell. Those are the four that I'm going with this week. And we will see on Sunday when I go over the review how they all performed. And on that note, I want to let people know that trading is not easy. It's not easy. Regardless of what you see on YouTube, it's all fragmented and put into a way for you to think that it's easy. But if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So yeah, I feel like if you do sports betting or if you do any sort of like gambling, like poker, blackjack, roulette, it's all about defining your edge. Like if you know in sports betting that a specific player versus specific team does an average amount of yards, you're gonna take that player for an over, or vice versa. If he doesn't do that good versus a team, you're gonna take the under. All it takes is just getting past the front of the screen. Most people see the chart and they get terrified because there's so much going on. There's so much up and down. You got all these indicators. You got all this stuff flashing in your face. If you just took the time to just slow down and understand the dynamics as if you would a sports betting game or poker or whatever, you can find opportunity within the market. It's really not that it's not that complicated. We just are complicated or more resistant to things that we don't know just by human nature. But it's not as easy as people make it seem like on YouTube. Like imagine if you never played basketball before, right? You never played basketball. And Iman Shumpert or like a Tony Allen lined up in front of you, and you had no common like reference point to understand how to score a basketball, let alone versus a defender because you've never shot a ball before. It's gonna be a little bit hard. But once you understand the fundamentals, you'll know that okay, if I cross here and I cross back over, I have enough room to get a shot off. You feel me? Like it's all the same thing. So I just want to know going forward, like if this is something you're interested in, what is it that you want to see from me outside of just watching my journey? Like what is it that you want to see or learn more about trading? Like instead of it just being something you just come across, because I actually want to help people and grow this thing into like a real community, uh, and actually help people get free from the route that we had in. If you want to see more like live stream stuff, I won't have that, but I will make an account for TradeZilla. TradeZilla is a platform to where you can basically capture the live moment of the trade. So instead of me going back on Sundays and doing it, I can have it already documented for y'all throughout the week. and then we can just go over it all, through Sunday. It'll have like my actual P&L more organized than in just like this kind of Excel looking thing. It'll be more like calendar based, and you can see the actual total profit, total loss. And I want to do this because it'll help me stay accountable too. Like I said, this journey, I've been on this journey for 7 years. And I've made so many great calls. Like I made calls on Bitcoin when it was at 20,000, like at the end of 2023, and it went to 75,000 within like 3 months. I called that. I called the Circle IPO release and it doing numbers. I've made a lot of calls within the crypto community and like crypto trap whatever, like equities, it don't matter. Like I've made those calls and meme coins. I've made calls. I posted them on my Instagram story a couple times, but I've made these sorts of calls and I have nothing to show for it to document it. So I feel like documenting my journey from this point forward will be nothing but fun. I hope to bring you guys more knowledge and things of that nature. And with that being said, I will catch you guys next Sunday for the next review of the trades. So, peace.